Good morning. I'm Stampin' Dee Dee, and I'm a card maker. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I just love using my supplies, and that is my new focus, is Stash to Card, Then Meets Now, and I am going back through my products, through my many packages of designer series paper and old dies and retired dies and stamps, and I'm using my stuff. I'm getting new products along the way, and I will definitely let you know about that. But my focus is Stash to Card. I think we all do that. I think we all accumulate things, and yeah, I tend to put them away and save them for that perfect project. But that perfect project is never going to come along. That perfect project is now. So today we're going to look at that designer series paper that is Scenic, and we've got so much of it. We've got Meandering Journey. We've got Splendid Autumn. We've got, I'm trying to think of the names of the others. Meandering Journey, Splendid Autumn, Beautiful Gallery, Meandering Meadows, and Thoughtful Journey. But I have at least 2 packages of each of those, at least one unopened package, because I loved it so much at the time that, and I do love it, but then it retired, and as a demonstrator, I'm supposed to use just new products, but you know, I love some of the things that have retired, and I tend to use them. So this is the focus for today, and I'm using 4 different Funfold patterns. Now I'll put the templates, the instructions for those on my blog. Let me get my blog thing. Hold on just a minute. So this is my blog, stampindeediespot.blogspot.com. And I will put the instructions for all of these on the blog. I won't be able to do that until later on this afternoon, late. So, you know, don't go looking for them until after, say, 4 o'clock. But then they'll be up there for you to have. So you could do any of these Funfolds. I've actually probably demonstrated over the past few years. I've probably demonstrated several of them before. But I pulled the templates back out, and that's what I'm going to use. So the instructions will be on this blog. Let's look at the 4 of them. We're going to do them one at a time. This one is a really simple one that really shows the continuity of your paper. I just love it. It opens up and leaves room for you to write a message to the person. And I'm in need of sympathy cards. So several of these will be sympathy cards so that I can use them for that. But this is this is the Secret Sea and the cloud cover ribbon, which are our current, not for much long, current, well, they're our current colors. But our current in colors. We will be getting new in colors when the new catalog comes out in June. But for now, these are our current in colors, and I thought they really went well with this card. So there's this one, very simple fold, very simple, but I think really nice. All right, and then there's this one, which is a little bit different fold, and look how it displays the designer series paper. I just love that. And even when it's folded up, it gives you an idea of what that paper looks like. Again, you're in my heart and prayers, and this is using the textured notes die. Okay. Then this one is a little more complicated. It has a belly band, but I think it's such a pretty template. So let me get the belly band off. The belly band is where the sentiment is. Forever loved, forever remembered. And then the card opens up like this. Now, as I was thinking about it, I thought, you know, if I wanted to use 2 sheets of this paper, I would put another piece right here, and you could certainly do that. I probably only had 1 sheet of this, but I might try and pick a design that I have 2 sheets left and put it in here too. But hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. So, another sympathy card. Get this back on. And I just picked some random twine that I have to coordinate with the colors. There's a mixed purple in one. There's a probably this is rich raspberry, and then a gold. All right, there's that one. And then there's this one. And this is one of my favorites, and I know I did a video on this, the window card, and it stands up. And that's what makes it so special. I've given several of these, and they immediately stood them up on the desk or the table next to where they were, and I think they were able to enjoy them for a long time. So, again, it features your paper. You don't get as much of it, but I love the background that it creates with the scenic paper. And so I picked that as well. So it's not hard. It's just a lot of folding and needing to know just how to fold it. But once you get that down, you can whip these out really quickly. All right. So, and inside, you're such a blessing. I think that's something that anybody would love to have sitting there and looking at. You're such a blessing. What an encouragement that would be for somebody. All right. So these are the templates that I will put on my blog. But for now, we're going to make this one. I thought I'd go ahead and make it and show it to you so that it wouldn't seem so daunting. And it shouldn't. It's not hard. You do need an 11 by 4 1/4 inch paper. So this is the designer paper that I picked for this card. And honestly, I don't even know which pack I pulled it out of. But this may be the Meandering Meadows. Because it looks like a meandering meadow, doesn't it? So I picked this card, this paper, and then I went with the crushed curry. I pulled the crushed curry out of it. So this is my 11 by 4 1/4 paper. But we're going to score it, all these scores. So let me set this aside and bring in my machine, my trimmer. And we're going to start. I'm trying to put this in a place where you can see it. I'm not sure you can see it there. We'll start with the 1/2 inch score and put it on 1/2. Be sure you do the scoring blade, not the cutting blade. And then we go to 1 inch. Score that. And then we go to 4 1/2 inches. And score that. And then 5 inches. This is where we do a 1/2 inch every time. 5 inches. And score that. We're going to have to open the arm up. 5.5 inches. And score that. I always check, make sure I've got the right blade. 6 inches. Score that. 6.5 inches. That's just past the where it folds. 10 inches and 10.5 inches to finish it out. And 10.5. Okay. All right. We've got the scoring done. So we're going to go ahead and cut the DSP. So we need 3 3/8 by 4 1/4 for the front, and the front being this piece right here. So 3 3/8. But what I want to do, and what I'm going to do first, then we need 3/8 inch for each of these sides. So I'm going to cut. Let's see. First, I'm going to decide. All right, 4 1/4. I want to cut the 1.5 inch off of the top, because we just want the width of 4 1/4. Everything is 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut it off the top because I really want the flowers to show. All right, then 3/8 inch is one of the ends. So I'm going to cut 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. And I figured out that then we're going to do 3 3/8, and that's this. 3 and 1, 2, 3/8 inch. 3 3/8, so that'll be the middle. That'll be our next cut. Okay. And then another 3/8 inch cut. 1, 2, 3. This is 2/8. 4/8 is half, and so the 2/8 is 1/4. So it's the smaller than the 1/4 inch. 1, 2, 3/8 right here. Now I need to get my paper back down. 3/8 is right before the 4/8. Cut that. And we have this piece left over to do with however we please. And this is going to be the front of our card. All right. So we're going to take this. It shouldn't be hard to keep it in order, but I'm going to put that on top of that. The next thing I'm going to do is take my base, and I don't need this anymore. Not right now, anyway. So I'm going to fold it in half. And that's this right here. You can tell the half. So we're going to get that fold burnished first. And I did that so that I could decide which side I want to be my front. And I usually pick the cleaner side. And it won't show anyway. But this is going to be my front. And I need to get this circle cut out of the front. But I also need the same circle cut out of the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to the front. It's your front panel. So we'll get that adhered. Let me find my silicone pad. There it is. Get my adhesive started here. There we go. So I'm going to put my front, and you want it in between your two folds. So if you need to fold that a little bit to see it, then go ahead and do it. But you want it right there in between. And it pretty much goes from fold to fold and edge to edge. All right, it's right there. That's our front. So now we're going to take the die, and I use this from, this is from the Stitched Shapes. This is from the Stitched Shapes, and I'm looking to see where I want it. And I really, on this one, I want it right in the middle. It's going to take out some of our flowers, but that's okay. It's also going to take out part of our stream, but that's okay too. That's what we need to do for this card. And I'm going to make sure it's centered. That's the main thing. And put the adhesive on it. Put it on my block. And die cut it. So let me put it through. Now, the pieces that you cut, you'll be able to use them on a different project. Let me get my tape off. That way. Look here, you'll actually have, maybe not two. If you only put adhesive the top and the bottom, you'd have two pieces, but I put one in the middle. So you've got this to use on a different project. Now we're ready to do our folding. Now I think what we'll do is go ahead and put this little strip on. So for this second strip, these two little ones, you skip a space and go to the next space and put them in. So let's do that. I'll turn it around and get a little bit right here on the end. And put this one right in between the score lines. Here we go. And this one goes right here. Skip one of the spaces that you scored. And put it right there. And turn it around. Get more adhesive on it. And I think I need a little bit more down this end. There we go. Okay. And it's going to go like this. And we skip this space and put it right here. That's interesting. Put it right there. There we go. Now we have our card front. You can see. So now we're ready to start folding and burnishing. So let's fold this one valley. The first fold to the right is valley, and we'll burnish it. And if you've not seen this on my videos before, this is a valley fold. The next one is a mountain fold. And you can tell the difference, the valley and the mountain. So we've done a valley and a mountain. Like I said, this card, I didn't get enough adhesive on that. Okay, adhesive, you need to work for me. There we go. There we go. So on this side, it's going to be a valley, and a mountain. So I'm going to burnish those. The valley and the mountain. And as you can see, this is how it's going to, when we get it, we're going to glue this down. And then we've got the stand here. We haven't done the back yet. Okay, so now we're going to turn it over. This first fold is going to be a valley. So you can burnish that. That's the center. There's the valley. And then a mountain. And right here is going to be a valley. And a mountain fold. The next score line is a mountain. Okay, we've got it folded. They're going to come together like this. And voila, we have our card. But before we glue those, adhere those together, we're going to put the inside in. And I've got some basic white. And that is 3 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to cut 2, one for the inside and one for the back, so you have a place to write your message. So let me bring my trimmer back over. 3 1/4 by 4. 3 1/4. 4. I had just pulled out 2 scraps that I had. All right, now we've got those 2 cut. And we want to put one inside. All right, so what we can do is set it in here, right in the middle, and it'll have an edge around it. Set this over it, and I use my pencil, my big pencil, because it erases so well. And I just kind of put a mark at each point, north, south, east, west. And then it helps me to know where I can put my sentiment. And I'm going to use You're Such a Blessing again, because I just think that's an awesome way to lift somebody's spirits. And I'm going to use Secret C because the color in this is that deep, deep, deep blue. You're such a blessing. And I can put it right in the middle. I'm going to use my foam pad because this is a photopolymer stamp. Center it in between my little marks. Top to bottom, left to right. You're such a blessing. There we go. Well, it looks like I got a little bit of my blue there, but that's okay. We could put a flower there if we wanted to. And I'm going to take my eraser. Just erase these a little bit. Well, it's not erasing as good. Maybe I've used it too much. Let me get it on my, get some of the color. I've used it a lot. Get some of the lead. usually erases this with no mark at all. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. I have to check it. Check it out. Oh, you know what? It's not my Bic. Huh. Is this one? There's the Bic. That's why. That's why I didn't look at it. Oh, this erases so much better. I thought, why is that not working? The Bic. Of course, it erases its own lid, but it's erasing this perfectly. Yeah. It's funny how you know it's supposed to work, and you don't know why it's not working. All right, let's get it on. And this is going to go right in the middle of this, because that's where we had it when we made our marks. Ah, don't go down. I'm not ready for you to go down yet. Okay. It's pretty much in the middle. I think that'll work. Hopefully that's going to get covered up. Well, not totally. That doesn't get covered up. So what I might do is, let's see. I don't know if this one will work. Well, I've got, I don't know why it wouldn't. Yeah, I've got all kinds of cutouts and stuff in here that I think I could use, but that works perfect. I'll trim it. Love using from my stash. I just love it. All right, I'm going to see how I want this to fit. I want this to fit just like that. Cover up that ink blotch. Let me grab my Bic pen and work on this just a little bit more. Next time I'll make sure I'm using my Bic pen and not some other pen that doesn't erase as well. I think that's better. That we can't do anything about. Yeah, no, that's the one we're covering up. All right. So I'm going to get my glue because it allows me to, and I'm going to trim this right now. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up to right there. And trim it at the bottom. Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to put glue. Get this going. There we go. Slow coming out. I'm trying to get glue on it so it'll stay on there. And then I'm going to put it so that it perfectly covers up the mess up. And yet, there we go. Perfect. That's perfect. 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 All right. We're ready. Let me go ahead and put the other white piece on the back. You could put more greeting on it if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it blank. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to use this tearing tape on my inside folds because it holds really well. So I'm going to put it right along the edge and lift the back off of it. And get that one glued down. Okay. And then I'm going to put it right along this edge. Put it right on the edge. A little bit left over. And lift the backing. Couldn't do it with the scissors shut. All right. And put that together. It's the easiest way to do it because it has to lay flat to go in your envelope. But then when they get it, they can do that. There we have it. How about that? It's done. It's done. That is your card. Now, if you wanted to, I've got some, I could put some twine, and this is just some twine that I pulled out of my stash. I couldn't even tell you where it's from, or, I mean, it's Stampin' Up, but it's from my stash. You know, green and gold is our college color. We went to Baylor, and green and gold, anytime I see green and gold, of course, I think of Baylor, but that was not the intention here. The intention was to pull the colors out of the card. I have to decide. I think right up here would be a great place for it. I think it would. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Get my glue dots. Put a glue dot on it. Oh, it didn't come off. Okay. Twist it a little bit. There it is. All right. I think I'll put it right there. Separate these a little bit so the difference in color shows. Maybe I was going to tighten it a little bit, make this bow a little smaller. Yeah. Oh, it's not sticking. All right, I'm going to tighten it up. Do my glue dots again. I don't know where that glue dot ended up. Put my glue dot on the back. Oh, I see it. It's right on the edge here. I think it had so much twine on it. Well, let's see if we can get this one to work. There we go. All right. There it is. As you can see it that way. Oh, I didn't trim this one. Oh, thought I trimmed them all. Okay. Now, there we go. You're such a blessing. So, see, that's not hard. Once you get it folded, scored and folded, and it's really not hard. So, these are the cutting directions for it. This will be on my blog as well. Of course, you saw it with the template. This is what it looks like after you cut the hole. And you've done your valley mountain on the front. And your mountain valley. And then it's mountain, valley, mountain. But once you go this way, it's valley, mountain, and then on this side, valley, mountain. And then when you turn it over, it's valley, mountain, valley, mountain. And that, I think, is the easiest way. Valley is this way, mountain is this way. And you can check it out. Make sure you've got it to where it will stand up. Glue it together. Put your DSP on it and glue it together. Pick out a fun DSP to use for this card, and they will love it. Whoever gets it will love it. They will love it. All right, so let me put these here so you can see them. There's this one and this one. Then there's this fold, and this fold, and this fold. This being the easiest. It's just the two folds, and that is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and this one is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. Your scores are at 1 1/2, 1 1/2, and at 5 3/4, and it just folds perfectly, perfectly. All right. So use that Scenic DSP up. Use it up. Let yourself do that. And what I do is I pick out something else. Now, I did pick out Scenic DSP, but I make a template. And I put my instructions in the template. My cutting, my scoring, my sizes, and put it inside the template, and I put these in a box. So when I went looking for ideas, I just pulled my box out, and I looked at my templates to decide which one I wanted to do. So this one is with the belly band. And again, that's not hard to do at all. All right. That's it. So I hope I've encouraged you to use your Scenic Designer Series paper. Maybe you're not like me. Maybe you used it all up when you first got it. I tried to do that, but then something else would come out, and I would buy it and use it, and then this retired, and so I didn't use it, and there you go. But now I'm using it. I am using my stash, and hopefully I'm encouraging you to use your stash. And if there is something that you would like to see concerning your stash, something you would like to use, a designer series paper, or some way to use your stash, let me know in the comments, and I will focus on that. The 2nd and 4th Thursday of the month is when I do my Facebook Live, and I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll comment and let me know. Hi, Sharisa, and hi, Kay. I'm so glad y'all are here. Sharisa, what fold did you use to cut that perfect circle? What tool? Okay. These are dies that are the stitched shape dies, stitched shapes, and that circle is one of those dies. They're the stitched shape dies. So that's what I use. There are lots of different die sets that have the circle dies, but what I did was I looked for one that probably the largest die still fit within that parameter, and I used it. You might want a smaller circle, and you could do that. You could do that in a smaller sentiment and let more of your background paper show. All right, great. Let me know if you have any other questions, and thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Thanks again. See you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.